Hello and welcome to my last group stage match in the second group stage, the 2014 Elements World Championship. Playing Regyptic again today, who narrowly defeated me 4-3 in our previous matchup. This is my B matchup, which means that I have, broadly speaking, elements that are not as strong. But we will find out what I've managed to put together with these elements. The first thing you're going to see here is that I am playing a Duo Disquake. And with that, we're ready to get the game underway. Regyptic. There we go. It's very interesting to take to give me time and water, giving me neither life nor gravity in the first division of elements, and claiming ether and fire for himself. I mean, I don't think that fire is 100% necessary, but okay. Well, this is a pretty acceptable start. Okay. Two Novas. Can get myself a Discord on turn 1. That was a very, very, very good start. Two Novas and an upped entropy penned on turn 1 gives me Discord. Turn 2, I get to play a Grabby and a Werewolf. And turn 3, I get to evolve both of them. It's very, very fast damage. What I'm most concerned about is his Bone Wall, which is going to really hurt if he gets it out. This isn't a P-Dials. But yeah. Now would be a really, really, really good time for an earthquake. Yeah, now would be a really good time for an earthquake. But it's okay. I got an absolutely huge start in this game. That first turn, Discord was massive. Oh, that's interesting. He actually plays an Arsenic there. Which means that he doesn't get to play a Bone Wall unless it's upped this turn. And yeah. Also, I got 3 of the 4 ups in this deck in the first 11 cards. That's absolutely insane. 5 creatures in play. Yeah, that's just game over. I'm gonna save that in case of any sort of plague or something, but yeah. He has no options left here, I don't think. Can't think of any card that turns this now. So that was my earth and entropy used. Entropy and earth, things that I picked up on the tail end of the draft. And he's used one of his monos. That means he's not going to use a Sosak mono this game, which is an interesting choice. On to game 2. After that incredible draw, I want to play something that's a less insane draw. So I'm going to take my Nova UG dials. You might recognize this deck as it's a slight mod of a pretty standard UG dials, but this has damsels, which are interesting. Also, it's a trio. I'll let him know that I'm ready for the next game whenever he is. And I'm not sure how long he's going to take in the prep here, but we'll let him make his deck decision here. And we'll see what he wants to play. This UG Dials is fairly strong. I can't see Pulverizer. It is weak to perm control, but I don't expect him to just save deflex. So yeah, this should be okay. Deflags and steals can both end this. So I have to hope that he's not playing darkness or fire here. If he plays like fire stall, I also have some potential problems, even if he doesn't deflag. I also don't want reflective shields. A very strong 8 upgrade deck with his current element set would be Roll Hope, which I win unless they're reflective, in which case I lose. However, I can potentially like UG them or Sundial it and Damsel them. There are options, basically. Not necessarily good options, but there's at least some options, even if there are reflectives in his light deck. So yeah, 3 out of his 6 elements worry me. But I still think this is actually the right choice for this matchup. I could switch to Chaos Worms, would have been my other desirable pick here. But I don't think there's anything else I want to play this match, especially that uses time anyway. Unless it goes to game 7. Yeah, so saving time doesn't really matter. And I don't really want to play Chaos Worms here, because there's just so many ways that could go very badly. Especially, what if he plays a DevTool here? He very well could play a DevTool here. I would be in trouble if he played a DevTool, but it would still be playable. But yeah, I don't want to see DevTool. DevTool is bad, even though I have Novas. Yeah. If we get to a game 7, I'm going to play Sorferos, probably. But, okay. I'm just gonna pass this turn and do absolutely nothing. It is Gravity Mark. I think that's a good sign for me. I'm not sure what he's playing with Gravity. Could be his Gravity Dark Daemon that he played in the last match for the victory in game 7. Or it could be a Charge Toll. That looks very much like a Charge Toll. Alright. So we're going to save the Quanta that would potentially be used for the Fog Shield and save it for the UGs. We are going to need to keep a count of how many chargers he had in his hand at any given time. This is going to be very important. Very, very important. Graviton Guard. It's a guard tool. Very interesting. This is a guard tool. Okay. Well, if it's a guard tool, then I am less worried. I mean, it's still a potential problem, but doesn't do nearly as well against fog as Charge Toll for obvious reasons. I need to start reaching the rest of my damsels and my two towers, but I don't want to dig with sundials yet, because sundials might be needed for stalling later. Oh, I really hope this doesn't turn into a problem. Yeah, desync situation here. My AI will misplay this deck, almost guaranteed. Which means I both have to win on this end of it, and yeah, I have to win on this end, and expect him to win on the other end, so I'll still have to win the replay. Okay. I am one Nova and one UG away from getting a win here, however. That was the expected play. I can here do 12, 16 damage. And here I'm about to win on this end too. Yeah, he won on his end, which was to be expected. I need one more Nova. Yeah, I was one Nova short. While we're at it, I'll load up game 3, which is Adrena's Staves. Because why wouldn't you use Adrena's Staves? But yeah, that was okay. So here's the Adrenistaves. Saw this exact deck yesterday. It hard countered a P-Dials, yes, so we'll see. We're talking about what our respective AIs did at the moment. He's saying that on his end he just used the dim shield when he was well above 80, which makes sense. But yeah. Alright, let us see then. So, yeah. His strategy makes sense, and it would have been a decent problem. But yeah. So, I've got this Adrenistaves going. Then I'm supposed to evaluate the state of the match. I might play SOP Warden's game 4 again. Yeah, I think I'm going to play SOP Warden's game 4 again. So, yeah, we're going to play Adrenostaves in 3, SOP Wardens in 4. And depending on the state of the match, I might play a free game in 5 or a Nymph Rush in 5. And then 6 could be either a free game or a Nymph Rush. And if this goes to 7 games, I'm playing Sore Pharaohs, but I don't especially love Sore Pharaohs, but at that point I'd only have time and life left. I'd still have access to using a mono, but I would only have time and life to make the mono with. And yeah, that's why I'm playing Sore Pharaohs. I could have played something else there. I thought about some sort of deck, but when I look at his elements, I just can't justify playing like Adrenifrogs or Mitofrogs or Adrenitris or basically anything like that into the sort of decks he's likely to be running in this match. He's likely to be playing slow decks throughout this match, with the exception of a Fractix that's probably coming eventually. So, the bad news this match would be a fire stall. Roll Hope would be an okay stall. Siphonary is a not so good stall. Mono Death is no longer eligible. Bonewall Sank is also playable. As far as aggro decks go, he's got Fractix. He's got no Flaming or a Phoenix Bolt. Phoenix Bolt would be the real threat here, probably. No Flaming has OTK potential also. Wouldn't expect him to want to use his second mono this early in the match, though. He could play an OD Drags of, like, Light Gravity. That'd actually be a really nice deck to play in 12 ups. He could play a Blessing Odie, Blessing Vampire, Blessing anything, really. He is searching now, and so am I. We'll see whether I hit his deck in my Wild Mask. Okay. Still on the waiting. I might just research if this doesn't go through. Yeah, we'll do it. There we go. And it's a light mark. I hope that doesn't mean, that does mean fire stall. Okay. This is where we lose. This is just a loss. I got epically hard countered this game. And that's the end of that story. So, yeah, I basically have no way of beating this deck unless he gets a really slow start. This is probably even he can't play Johnington, but it's still a fire stall. Alright. Yeah. This is just toast. Absolute toast. Don't think I have any plays to win this game. Alright. So I'll be down 2-1. And that's actually, like, that's just over. This is one of my stronger options. So what happened to my SOP wardens at 4 yesterday? I ran into some sort of emo thing. Yeah, I played that emo thing there yesterday. And I played wardens at 4. Wardens can very much Wardens can lose. I've got healing. He can probably kill my staffs off, though. I have 5 staffs. He probably has more than 5 killing cards. I've got a couple of elite queens, but probably not enough. That's just how this matchup goes. I'm gonna play the elite queen. If I get even 1 out, I at least have access to unstable gas. But meh. And you did not get fire shielded here. Could actually win this match if things go extremely right. I now have access to UG. How much do I have? Let's see. If I adrenaline that, I have 8 and 12. That's 24. I would end up having like 40 damage. Okay. Put one. Good news is that he doesn't have dials this time around. Dials are a really painful part of Johnington Firestall. They hurt me so badly yesterday when I had a chance to win. Okay. So that did get played now. But just in time for me to get a replacement. The question is, how quickly will he draw his core cards? That's the real question. I have 1 more staff, 3 more flying weapons, and 3 more adrenalines in this deck, plus several FFQs. I'll pull up the deck in my side panel for a second to check my queens. 3 queens. And he has his 3rd firebolt. Okay. So there is a staff, 2 FWs, three adrenalines, 2 queens. It's like 6, that's about 8 cards that help. So about half of my remaining deck actually helps here. Second UG also kind of helps. in that it sets me up for burst range a little easier. I'm now perfectly matching his healing with my damage. He has no more than 3 bolts remaining. And we've now established that I'm not going to let him deck me out. I'm pretty sure it's like the chances of him decking me out are actually kind of low right now. So, cards that help. 3 adrenalines, 1 flying weapon, 1 staff. 5. 7 out of 12 cards are useful here. 8 out of 12 if you count the other unstable. I'm kicking myself and wishing I'd included a Bee Nymph in this deck. It would have been very useful here. This is a surprisingly playable matchup. Yeah. There's only about 4 cards I don't really want to see right now. 6 if you count the spare staff and web. But, yep, there we go. There's an adrenaline right when I needed it. He probably has a bolt in hand, but you can't kill with just 3 bolts in Fahrenheit in a single turn. And 1 staff with adrenaline will always outdo that, too. So now I'm barely out-damaging his healing, but yeah, that was expected. Now he's down to 2 bolts, though. I need adrenaline this turn. I have 2 copies left out of 9 cards. I basically... Oh, that doesn't do it. Alright. Taking a chance here. Because I can't afford not to. He probably has a D flag for it, but I have to take the chance. 2 queens, 2 adrenalines. Yeah, I kind of saw that happening. I have to play those. Now he's got 2 bolts left, so he can just win the game anytime now. Yeah, he might actually just deck me out after all. If I get the adrenaline and he doesn't get the bolt, that is. But... okay. That was a win for him that he very much deserved. So, I lose air life, he loses fire and light. Now I have to think about the SOP wardens that I want to play. Yeah, I think think that's my real option here, is SOP Wardens. I have to hope that this holds up. So with that 2-1 deficit, a win in this game would be pretty big, but next game is game 5 is going to be huge. We'll see what he does with this game 4. Game 5, I think, bringing out an T-Rush. But if things go badly in Game 4, I might bring out something else, like a DBH. Yeah, I would bring out DBH. So what is he most likely to play? He has a mono left, which will probably be mono darkness. Because he's already played mono death, he has either mono darkness or mono ether left. He probably is Devtil though in mono darkness. So there's 4 games potentially left in this match. He's probably lining up Devtil, mono dark, Death Firestall, or Death Sync Stall, and his free game. He might line up a Roll Hope, though. Okay. There we go, and it is dark. Okay. Well, let's see what we get. Oh, we do not get the kindness of the draw. Now the question is there ether? This might be a good use of my reroll, this might not. All darkness. Can get a Warden and a Rider out on this turn, and likely an SOP the turn after. It's not optimal, but as long as I can guard his first dev, I'm actually okay. Fauna sources here are huge. But yeah, if I can get this going, it's gonna be good, but I need to get this going. It will all depend on how many devs he has. Good news is that devs are low HP and not airborne. Okay. Shard of Patience. Iridium Warden. Now, even if he has like 4 devs, it's going to be hard for his devs to survive from here on. This is his second mono, which means he has no monos left the rest of the match. He'll have 2 duos and a free game. If I win this IND, try spell first. Which then gives me room to play the combo I wanted to play. Dev can get up to 5 HP. But I should still get some damage to it. Oh, gargoyles, that's not good. Alright. Well. Didn't need to guard the gargoyle, because he's not going to DSOP this turn. But four creatures can in fact reach a lot of damage. Well. Let's see what happens. There's no reason for me to earthquake here. I just have to keep the effectiveness of his gargoyles down, which means guarding them. You can get more wardens out eventually. He might decide to just cancel the SOP and swing this turn, which would be a pretty reasonable play. That's the one downside to playing a Warden stack, is that if your opponent uses airborne creatures, you're not in good shape. But yeah, if he swings, he's still 3 turns from kill. Generally speaking, the rule of thumb on Patience is to drop it when you're 2 turns from kill. Whoa, that's an interesting play. Okay. Well, he'll guard all the gargoyles. try, like... massive damage? Like... Here, we'll pull up the deck again in our sidebar. Like this. Yeah. There's several more riders and wardens in this deck. I feel like I can pretty happily still fish for a couple more turns before canceling. The dragon itself only hits for 16. Another gnome rider, good. More damage sources that can swing. And one of these turns I'm going to have to just take a chance and swing. I think I'm going to wait 3 more turns. Try to get a gnome rider to 25. Permafrost shield. Yeah, now even if he unfreezes or unpatiences, it'll probably take a couple turns, which is all I really need here. Okay. The question is whether he will also unpatience or not. Dealt a quarter of the damage I needed this turn. He'll deal some. And that hurts him a lot. Now he still has 1 hit for 22 coming through. But that was unlucky for him. This might be a turn to leave 1 or more open. Except it isn't. That was a miss, but on next turn I can guard and leave 1 open. Yeah, he just got trolled by the perma though. Basilisk Blood 1 Gargoyle. Guard another empty. Guard another with my lowest damage dealer. leave the remaining ones open, and oh my god! Oh my god. I need one of 6 things to hit. GG. Jeez, oh Pete. So we're at 2-2. I really just need one more win in this match to be in very, very good position going into the remaining games. I'll clinch not being able to be eliminated. I could still have to play Tigers, but I would clinch not being eliminated. So with that in mind, for game 5, we're going to play the NT Freeze Rush. Now, I am almost certain that I'm going to need to pay some upgrades for this. So, let me see. Only 3, okay. I'll just put the quantum towers in for now. 4 water towers, 5 water pens. 4 water towers, 5 water pens. 5 NTs, so I need 4 abyss crawlers. So I need to up 3 more abyss crawlers. Oh, wrong button. I'll return to the deck manager. Remove those for abyss crawler. Alright, now we're ready to play. This is looking every bit as tense as our previous match, so, well, can't complain, I guess. These are some exciting matches in general. Yeah, this will let me set up for 24 playing my DBH, and then at 28 playing Sorfera if it goes to a game 7. Sorfera is a kind of risky deck, but that's what I'm going to play. Reggie is no longer allowed to play any monos. Worst things I could see here. Yeah, he can't play any monos unless he uses his free game to play a mono. This in turn then means that he could play Roll Hope, Zap Firestall, Death Fire, Death Sank Stall. He looks really stally with his remaining elements. Can't play Charge Stall because he's already got Duo. Can't play Firestall or Imo unless he uses a third element in it. So I think my current is Fractix. Current guess is something like Fractix, Sankstall, so sack mono for his free game. Or, you know, DevTool. Yeah, the opposite option for him is DevTool. And then that would leave him like, you know, Gravity, Blastodes, Death Sankstall. DevTool, Death Sankstall. And then again, still a free game for anything. And here comes fire. Something fire-oriented, and oh my! I can try to slow this down with a permafrost shield. Yep, it's Fractix. Now the question is, does Fractix outrush Nymph Tears? With Abyss Crawlers. 6, I get 6 back. There's gonna be dims. Gotta know it, there's gonna be dims. That's the only reason to play Fractics here. So yeah, how many dims are we expecting? Either way, that's 23. I'm 2 turns from victory unless he has a dim. He has a dim. I have a permafrost. Yeah. Question is, will he have enough dims to chain them? I'm not sure how many this deck usually packs. So I'm at 23, which means I'm about 19 short. If I play Abyss Crawler, I'll be 13 short. I have to do it. The question is whether he has a dim in his hand right now or not. And he has one more turn to try to do something to end this. See if he gets a dim this turn. That was cool. That was a cool play. So that was a mono water from me. Now we're going to try to win the game right here because I don't want to play Surf Arrows if I don't have to, but we'll see. Oh, shoot. He might be using his replay on that game, he says. So if he uses his replay on that, we'll play that one over. He said he's considering it, so I'll give him a minute to decide. Alright. So... Alright. Well, that would have been a nice, game, but he had his replay option still available and decided to use it right there. And I honestly can't blame him. Like, that sounds like it was some pretty abysmal luck on his part. However, that's dangerous. Because now I need to wait for double NT. And that could be a huge problem. Wish I could use my freeze on his weapon. You know, expecting Dim Shield, that would have actually been really strong tech. To put some ice bolts in, that is. Okay, 1, 2, 5, 6. I gained 6. That's good enough. Got a much worse start this time, but I can still get a barrage of nymphs out fairly quickly. Yeah, we're gonna freeze that. We're gonna freeze that. Then we need to get a nymph out this turn. Note that he can't Lobo Iffy Fractals on the same turn. We're at 18. So if we even get to 24, we're like 3 turns from winning. We can still play the perma on the next turn. We're at 24, which puts us at 2 turns from winning. Almost no additional cards change this. A really interesting deck that somehow managed to make room for Ball Lightning, which is kind of interesting. If I had played my free game and used it to play basically any of the things I would consider playing with a free game, that could have been a win here, most likely. Okay, so his main... So yeah, the correct move on this turn is in fact Permafrost and Freeze, because I'm 1 turn from winning anyway here. That minimizes his winning options. He needs dims and he needs them fast. He needs to not break his dim chain. Basically. Ever. He needs to never break his dim chain. Don't need that card. I'll save the Quana for anything better that comes by. I don't think he has CC, and even if he does, I have that, so... the entirety of this game is how strongly can he not break his dim chain. That just happened. Alright, he's going to take the replay. It's actually 1 damage short right now, but if he gets anything, yep, 1 Phoenix, that does it. Alright, so he does take the win, and that's now 2-3. That's Mono Water for me, Ether Fire for him. Now, we're looking at things like Siphonary, Death Thing, so we're looking very, very stally. The option of Bonewall weighs strongly in my mind, which means that I'm going to play for my free game, my DBH. Free. I can't play the mono ether. Okay. So, I have played Duo Disquake, Trio UG Dials, Duo Adrenistaves, Duo SOP Wardens. Now a mono of that. So, it's mostly utility cards that I put as the unupped cards. Luckle probably could have been one of them also. Basically, it's utility cards that are pretty low cost anyway. And, well, everything in this deck is pretty low cost. But it's mostly spells, and Discord, which is a utility card. Okay. So we have to play this free game. If I take this to game 7, I advance unless Blacksmith double 4/3s Regyptic, in which case I have to play a tiebreaker. Here I would be eliminated if Blacksmith double 4/3s Regyptic, and under any other circumstance I'm either advancing or playing a tiebreaker. So my chances are pretty good regardless of what happens here. By getting at least 2 wins today, I've given myself a pretty good chance, but if I can get a 3rd win here, that would really make a huge difference. One of my overall strongest decks. This deck and the Skyblitz off balance that I ran against Blacksmith are two of my overall strongest decks in highly upped metas. And the threat of Bonewall makes me not want to play that. Also the threat of getting like Darkness Dominant again. What if he's prepping Darkness Dominant for one of the two remaining games in this match? Yeah, he might be prepping to play the exact deck he played yesterday, the Darkness Dominant, in either this game or next game. And if not, Bonewall could be coming out. Regyptic being such a Darkness player, I'd be shocked if he didn't use Darkness twice in a full 7-game match. I can see him saving it, especially if he's winning in the match, but he'll want to have Darkness to fall back on. Also, it's worth noting that this deck can beat essentially anything if it draws well enough. And since this is my last match and I haven't used my replay yet, if this fails, I can replay it. So there's also that option. Alright, we're going to search and see. Yeah, okay, he wasn't sitting in search waiting. So Siphonary, Gravity Dark Daemon, I guess I could see some sort of like voodoo poison. Yeah, I could see some sort of voodoo. This is definitely beatable. This is his Siphonary, I bet. It's either Siphonary or a Death Sync stall. If it's Siphonary, we can probably win. It's Roll Hope. Okay. That was unexpected. Roll Hope. If this is Roll Hope, which it looks like, what do I want to discard? What do I want to discard? If it's Roll Hope, if it's Sync Stall, I want the Steel. I'm going to discard this under the assumption that it's Roll Hope and not the Sync Stall. This could be Sync Stall though, in which case that will look really dumb. That is a Sync Stall. And now I look really dumb. Ether Sankstall. Huh. I'm just gonna disco for damage. So yeah, I'll lose this game, or this match, 4-2, but I'll still finish on 13 out of a possible 16 points. Reggie will be going into the match with 8, and Blacksmith with 6. That means that Blacksmith still needs 7 points to catch me. There's dims in this for sure. He's just gonna dim me out from here. Don't think there's any way he doesn't dim me out successfully from here. But he doesn't know what options I have in my hand as far as PC goes. Yeah. Next time around, disco is the problem. Okay. Yeah, my OTK is kind of low. Yeah, I've got 18 and 20s, 38, 42. And there's the dials. Yeah. Mm. So yeah, I'll be on 13 points, assuming that the replay still doesn't work out for me. I'm going to at least try. But yeah, there's a lot of other games I could have used the replay on, but didn't have one worth using it on, really. Alright. So, here we go. Basically, if I win this, I can clinch. If I don't, I'm still in okay shape. Oh, that hurts. That really, really hurts. Let's see. I can play the rest of my hand next turn. In any order. But it's too late anyway. The rush is on, at least, but do I have 30? Let's see. So it's 21. I have 25 right now. Okay, that probably saves him. That gives me a chance. Deal could yet make the difference. Oh, that's bad sign. That's a really bad sign. I have no stall break in here, so... I would try to steal the sink, except I don't think that would work here. The right cards early. So the problem is that I basically have to reach OTK territory because of miracles. So that even if I steal dims on consecutive turns, it's probably not enough. Dial. That also will help his case. If he doesn't keep drawing dials and dims, there's actually a tiny chance. Yeah, he is relying on those dims. I have at least some damage left in this deck somewhere. Don't have much. Let's see. 20, 31, 35 against 16. That doesn't do it anywhere near quickly enough. One last chance. He heals 16 and goes to 81. Yeah, there's just barely enough turns for this to work. But sorry, 85? Oh, I missed a sank in there. Okay, there's just barely enough turns. And, oh, he could have another miracle, too. That will end the game. That extra 6 damage would have helped sooner, but yeah, that. So we'll just call that game. I can't deal enough damage in the remaining turns of this one, unfortunately. Can actually take 1 extra turn, hilariously. Next turn I can add 1 more card. Won't matter though anyway. It's not enough damage, but I won't bother. I won't waste his time with it. There is not enough damage in this deck to win with it, so. And yeah, there's the phase anyway. Last card's a tower. So GG's. But yeah, I'll finish on 13 points. Reggie will be going into 7s to go with 8 against Blocksmith 6. If 6. And that will be the match. So, very good games here against Regyptic. Both games very well played. And I hope that I will get the chance to record and show for you a quarterfinal match. Thanks for watching.